basically take 10 minutes to first of all talk about a small bit of presentation that I've prepared for all of you. The presentation would answer some of the questions that you might be having, and then if it doesn't answer your questions, then I can take those questions later. So since I'm not getting any thumbs up or any messages from all the participants here, I assume that there is no problem in the webcast, and therefore I begin with this presentation. So before I actually take your questions, the objective of this particular presentation is just a threefold. We want to tell you the scenario and the current scenario which is pertaining to the built environment, and why is it that this particular course is not only relevant but a major career choice for you. And secondly, we want to tell you about the three courses that we are offering here, three MBA courses that we are offering here, which are namely MBA Construction Project Management. In fact, 4 courses. Being a School of Construction faculty, I generally take the construction economics to be a part of School of Construction. So 4 MBA streams per se: MBA Construction Project Management, MBA Construction Economics Quantity Surveying, MBA Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure, and MBA in Infrastructure Management. Before I begin this presentation, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. I'm Gautam Pant, Associate Professor with School of Construction, Associate Professor and Program Director. A brief introduction about my background: I have around 17 years of experience of working with NTPC, which is India's leading power producer. I worked there till 2015 and left the company as DGM HR, joined RICS School of Built Environment as Associate Professor in the year 2015 June. I am basically a civil engineer and MBA in HRM from SPJN School of Global Management. I'm a Fulbright scholar and I'm currently pursuing my PhD from IIT Delhi. Now that's my background, ladies and gentlemen, and probably this, because of my background of being an HR person and being a civil engineer, I think I'm qualified to talk to you about our colleges, our institute, and the courses that it offers. So when I start this presentation, I'll just run through the entire presentation just for you. So the first thing that I want to punch is that infrastructure, or basically the built environment scenario, is one which is looking very promising. You have several initiatives which are there by Government of India. India is poised to be one of the largest economies of the world. Everybody is looking towards India for economic growth. People are looking towards India for economic investments, and that speaks true for the entire built environment sector as well. So we are looking at investments not only in infrastructure. We are looking at investment in housing. We are looking at investments in smart cities, and so on and so forth. So the sector is booming. There is enough investment in this given sector, and because of this, therefore, there are loads of opportunities for people who want to be in the built environment sector as managers. But what actually pinpoints, or why actually this particular institute was created, and why the people who are aspiring to be construction project managers or other managers from this particular institute, why this is a very savvy choice, is that although there is this huge investment and the huge expansion plan, which I'll just take you through the slides just now, there is a strong skill gap which is there in the sector. So we've got very few people who've got that kind of a managerial experience and know how to handle the complex construction project or real estate projects or infrastructure projects. So the idea is that we produce such industry-ready professionals who can be trained to directly deliver and be very productive as soon as they join industry, and they don't take time to to be productive. And that's the reason that we pride ourselves to be an industry-led institute, and we have most of the faculties which are like me, who have extensive experience of working in the field and applying all these concepts that we would be teaching you, so that we can give you a knowledge which is not just theoretical, but it is based on practical aspects also. Having said that, let me quickly take you through these presentations, so which talks about the urbanization of India, and India being poised to be the 3rd largest economy by 2030. a scenario about the opportunities in the sector in terms of the investments and in terms of contribution to the GDP by the sector. Huge investments in the sector. Let's say, quoting one figure, $1 trillion investments, which is required until 2030 to upgrade India's urban infrastructure. And there's a strong support from the government too. So whether you talk about RERA, or you talk about the government schemes like Amrut or smart cities, government is all poised to see that the infrastructure gap which is there currently in the country is basically bridged, or the built environment gap, let me use the term, is very successfully built. And therefore there are very strong growing opportunities in the field. 70% of the global wealth is in real estate, and there is an 80% shortage of talent. These are two figures that you should basically be keeping in mind. And the sector is changing dynamically. The kind of landscape or the kind of competencies or qualities that were required for civil engineers or managers basically in these particular field is non-existent. So a BTech degree would give you a requisite technical knowledge, but the kind of managerial specific, domain specific qualities which are required and which are increasingly day-to-day required in view of the globalization, in view of the global companies which are coming up, is something that the sector really demands and needs, and we as an institute are poised to give you that kind of know-how. So therefore, there is a huge skill gap. That's what I talked to you about. It's around 5.2 million professionals which are required by 2022. And of course, the gap is because the people are not industry ready, and that's what we said. That's the aim of this college, and that's why it is an industry-led institution, so that we are able to prepare the students on the basis of our industry experience, so that whatever knowledge that theoretical concepts that we are going to give you are strongly anchored in your memory by the instances from live instances from the field, which will help you to understand, digest these concepts. We've already talked about that, and of course, as you know, that because of the fast pace in technology, that there is a need for the professionals who are managers who not only are aware about the technical skills and the intricacies, but are also aware, are also updated with the latest competencies, managerial and leadership competencies. So having said all that, you already know the skills therefore required for the future jobs are advanced project management skills, knowledge and applications of lean and BIM in construction, scheduling through softwares like Primavera, Tilos and MS Projects, strong analytical skills, estimation through Candy and Costex. These are softwares which are related to construction economics and quantity surveying, communication skills, and passion for energy conservation and sustainability. And therefore, obviously, we come to the four reasons why you should choose a specialized MBA. A, it is very much required by the industry to meet the demand. B, it gives you a wider career opportunities. If you're a technical graduate, getting this managerial competencies added to you gives you even better choice of jobs. You are going to be a techno manager, so you not only have strong technical skills, which is backed by a BTech degree, but also requisite management skills which are in demand by the industry now. And most importantly, you have global career choices. So it's not just in India that the construction project managers are required, or construction economics and quantity surveying people are required, or infrastructure managers, or real estate and urban infrastructure managers are required. The demand for such kind of professional is global, and some of the students basically have also been placed in Dubai. Most of them have been placed in Dubai. That's the foreign destination that we are looking at. We also tried with Malaysia and other places. So these are the places which are potential employers also. And most importantly, by doing this course, you get fast track towards the membership in RICS, which is Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, one of the leading bodies, accreditation and standard creation bodies in the whole wide world. And another reason because of which you should join this particular institute is that this is the first institute or academic venture of Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors in association with MIT. So it makes a lot of sense for you to join this particular institute, and it gives you a fast track to obtain the membership of RSAs, which will definitely open much more doors for you as a professional in future. So there are 4 courses, as I told you. We have got MBA in Construction Project Management, MBA in Construction Economics and Quantity Surveying, MBA in Infrastructure Management, and MBA in Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure. So let me just give you an example before I start taking your questions, because last time also, because of my last experience, I understand that you people are more interested to have your questions answered, which I understand is a very genuine concern. So let me just give you an example as to how these 4 domains or 4 management streams are there for you. So let's look at the airport, construction of a particular airport. So if you talk about all the construction which is associated with this particular project and its management, that comes in the domain of construction project management. If you talk about the land acquisition, if you talk about the management of the constructed property there, the development of the entire shops, commercial establishments, etc., and the airport there, then that comes under the domain of real estate and urban infrastructure. The entire landscape, from land acquisition to servicing of that particular property, transactions, valuations, everything are as a part of real estate and urban infrastructure. When you talk about infrastructure management, then infrastructure management will talk about 3 aspects related to a particular project. It talks about the commercial aspect, it talks about the financial aspect, financial viability, commercial viability of the project, and also the legal aspect associated with that particular project of the airport. Now this is how 3 streams come into play. When we talk about construction economics and quantity surveying, that is typically associated with construction project management as a very important stream, because cost management, which basically represents construction economics and quantity surveying, is a very important tool which is available to a manager, and cost management has been known to decrease the cost of a particular project by 30 to 40% in certain cases, where the management regarding the cost and measurement, etc., were not that precise. Now that's how these 4 broad MBA degrees fit in this entire area of courses that we are offering. So this is all about the courses here, and of course we have a PG diploma in a PG diploma in facilities management. That's a 1-year course, which is basically focusing more on facility management. Now with the increase in the number of facilities and the real estate properties in India, facility management is now poised to be one of the most important and crucial key factors, which is basically much in need now. So that's what I have talked to you already about, an RSA's accredited degree, and this degree is valued across the world, and this degree is synonymous to all these degrees, which all these institutes that you are basically looking here. All these institutes have been accredited by RSAs in the past. We have been recently re-accredited by RSAs, and most importantly, this is the first educational venture of Royal Institution and Chartered Surveyors. Nowhere in the world you have an institution which has got the backing of RSAs itself. Apart from that, just a quick look at the recruiters. So you have Arcadis, you've got Mace, you've got L&T, you've got Afcons, you've got Shapurji, Palanji, AECOM. I think this time we also had Atkins coming here. So all these companies for construction, construction contracting and consulting, and then real estate developers, IREO. You have Credi. Then you have CBRE, then you have JLL. All these leading firms have been amongst the recruiters that we are talking out here. And of course, there are bank and financial services which recruit people from infrastructure management sector. So Blackstone, Edelweiss, IFL, FL, DHFL, all these companies, and consulting services like KPMG, CBRE, of course, I talked to you about, Knight Frank, Cushman and Wakefield. All these, these have been as the major recruiters here. So that's it. With this, I end the presentation, and I invite any questions that you might have at this point of time, so that I can start answering those questions. Yes. So can I have the questions from you, please. I'm not able to see the questions here. I'm not able to see the questions here. I'm not able to see the questions here in the webinar. Can you call?
Yeah, I just saw some.
I'm just trying to get your questions. Right now, I'm not able to see your questions. So, so no questions as of now from anyone? Well, I'm waiting for your questions, please. So you can type in your questions and let me know so that I can start answering those questions, please. I'm not able to get the questions, please. If you could give me just 1 minute and excuse me, I can. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. So, thank you. So, I have the questions right here. Naveen says nowadays construction is only for the urban area. Now that, Naveen, is a fallacy. When you look at the road networks that are there, when you look at the infrastructure networks which are expanding, there's construction everywhere. I come from NTPC and I know for sure that if you're talking about power, you cannot do away with construction, and that construction is not limited to the urban areas. Okay, Mr. Bilal says how MBA in construction management, project management helped me with my career. As I told you, Mr. Bilal, construction project management, if you are a civil engineer, construction project management opens new doors for you, gives you additional competencies with which you can get much better career options. You say, again, Bilal says, what's the difference between MBA in quantity surveying and MBA in CPM? I guess I've answered this question. There is an overlap between MBA in quantity surveying and MBA in construction project management. However, how it differs is the MBA in quantity surveying focuses more on the cost management aspect of it. Tushar says, which course is best to do right now? Tushar, that depends entirely upon what stream are you coming from and what are your goals. So depending upon that, I would be able to tell you which course would suit you better. So Rangarajan says, when should we start the admission process? I'm currently doing my final year in BE. I think the admissions team will be able to answer this particular questions. We still are accepting the admission forms per se. So I think you should immediately apply and you'll be shortly called for the interview. Mr. Shubham says, what are the job opportunities in MBA in construction management in India? Primarily, Shubham, the biggest job that you would be getting is that of a construction project manager. Now there are several associated roles along with the construction project management. So you could be in the planning department, you could be in quality management department, you could be in sustainability management department. You could also be taken by the banks as a valuer, for construction projects. So all these are the options. Mr. Jasil says, I wish to know more about the placement history. Okay. Well, I think the placement, Jasil, last year was 100%. This time, I understand the placement is close to 75 to 80% right now, and of the eligible candidates that were eligible to sit in the placement process. Now, how much percentage of students get placed eventually? We have had, in fact, I mean, considering the kind of sluggish growth that we have in the industry right now, I think the response of the recruiters was very good. Now, how many students get placed eventually is also a function of how did you perform in a particular in a particular interview. So that basically depends upon you. But despite all these factors, we've been able to place 75 to 80% students till now, and the placement process has not yet stopped. Last year we were able to place 100% people, 100% people. Tushar, I'm able to see your questions right now. So if you are, so I think I've already answered that. What are the eligibility criteria? The eligibility criteria for MBA Construction Project Management and Construction Economics is that of a BTech degree. We insist on that. Whereas for infrastructure management, there is, of course, you can be a BTech in any stream. And for MBA Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure, there is no requirement of a technical degree. Mr. Jasil, yes, I got your cue and I've already spoken about it. Rohan says no, there's not. Mr. Rohan, there's no possibility of doing this course part-time. These are pretty rigorous courses and we want you to be for these courses full-time. Mr. Shubham Rakeja says, is there any role of experience before going in for management? See, personally, it's my personal opinion, Mr. Rakeja, that if you have any experience, the understanding of the course and the depth to which you are able to understand these particular courses would be quite easy as compared to the people who do not have any kind of experience. Now, please understand that when I talk to people about, let's say, the issues in a particular power project or details of, let's say, a performance management system, unless and until you've not been exposed to performance management system, you will understand the process, but the depth of that particular process or the extent of the fine grain understanding of that particular process would not be easy. Well, Sarthak, good afternoon. Yes, you only want to ask that we had done with a BTech in civil because of unemployment. We face a lot of difficulties while getting placed. Yes, of course, Sarthak. I think the difficulties are there. Everybody is facing these difficulties, and this is because there is a perception in the industry that the people who are coming out with a technical degree are not ready for that, do not possess the requisite amount of skills, and that's why these courses come into play, where you can come and refurbish and recheck or reinstill the concepts that you've already learned as a civil engineer, and also gain new competencies and enhance your any employability. Shubham, any surety of job RSS gives for MBA in cost management? Shubham, a job assurance is something that I think if I were to have even one of your close relatives in the placement team, they would not be able to give you any assurance. We do give you this assurance that we will give you the best possible opportunities in this particular field. Whether you are able to convert this opportunity in your favor or not depends a lot on the candidate himself. So yes, RICS does give you an assurance of giving you the best opportunities possible in the industry in the given time frame. Mr. Shankar says, are there any postal course available for working professionals? As of now, Mr. Shankar, we do not have any postal course. I'm sorry. However, we also are advertising many leadership programs and other programs, which are short-term programs by RACS School of Built Environment, which you can definitely join. Okay, I'll take it further. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Rangaraj. Compare NICMARS and yours. I think you would have already done the comparison by now. If you want me to compare the two degrees, yes, NICMAR will give you a PG diploma in construction management, whereas we offer a degree in construction project management. Now that makes a sea change. And most importantly, RICS School of Built Environment has got the backing of Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, which is one of the topmost bodies in the whole wide world accrediting programs pertaining to construction project management. I think I need not say anything more. Arnab says, for MBA in construction management, sir, MBA for construction management or quantity surveying, Do we need to have experience after BTech for admission? We do not have any, we have not placed any criteria for experience after BTech, Arnab. I hope that answers your question. Sarthak says, so after doing an MBA with this course, are we able to get jobs? Yes, you are definitely, if you are eligible and get the requisite amount of marks that we prescribe for you to be eligible for placements, you are eligible for placements, and we, as I said, we will be giving you the best of opportunities possible. Now, if you are, if you are keen and if you're a good student, I don't see any reason for you not to get a job after this particular course. Any international recruiters? Yes, we have El Nabuda, which had come in, and we had Lang Group last year that had come in. I think Al Nabuda in Dubai has given us one of the best packages till now. I'm sure JLL Dubai was supposed to come right now, but they did not. Again, you had Atkins coming up here. Now Atkins is a global player, and similarly AECOM is a global player. Okay, Tushar, you says you are a civil PE. Yeah, so that's perfectly fine. You are eligible for both, for all the courses, in fact. Will it be better to take up a family business? See, these are your priorities, gentlemen. Your priorities can vary. You could decide to take up a business, or you could decide to take up a job. The intent of this particular degree primarily, Mr. Ravichandran, Mr. Rangaraj Ravichandran, should be to get knowledge, and that particular knowledge is required for you to be a better professional. Now, after acquiring that particular knowledge, whether you decide to take up a family business or whether you decide to take up a job is entirely your call and your priority. Which course will make me better to take up family business? That depends upon which kind of business you are in, Mr. Rangaraj. You'll have to be specific. Difference between CPM and real estate and infrastructure management. I've already answered this, Tushar, but to put it again, so construction project management deals entirely or specifically to the construction activities. Now, those construction activities would be there in real estate. Those construction activities would also be there in infrastructure management. When you look at the real estate management in real estate, you talk more about the activities which are pertaining to the real estate. That is, right from the land acquisition till managing or building up or creation of that real estate, being a developer. Then after the development of a particular property, then furthermore commercial management of that particular property. Whereas infrastructure management, as I said, is broadly looking at a particular project on the three aspects of commercial viability, of financial viability, and of looking at the legal aspects associated with this particular project. I hope I am clear after that. Vineet says, during 4 years of my BTech, I just learned only theoretical part. So how is this different from being practical and theoretical? See, Vineet, during your BTech years, what you did learn is structures, of course. So civil structures, so RCC structures, steel structures, water resources engineering, road, highway engineering, railway engineering, airport engineering. All these things would be a part of your BTech degree, which are specifically pertaining to the technical aspect associated with civil engineering structures. So it is talking about the engineering of these structures, whereas we move beyond from this to in this MBA degree, we are talking about not engineering of these structures, but we are talking about management of construction of these structures. So definitely your knowledge of BTech as to what are the so let's say your BTech would tell you that whenever there is a negative movement, you have to, so wherever there is a tension in an RCC, you need to provide a reinforcement part that you need to do. But as a manager, you need to understand that when you are looking at the drawing, whether the drawing is correct or not, whether that design aspect has been correctly incorporated or not, whether the drawing has been reviewed from these angles or not, whether somebody has done a proper design before a particular structure is executed or not. So all these things will be part of the design management, which is a specific course here when we look at it. So it tells you how the management of the entire process is there. Then from that it goes to the construction. So how do you manage the construction part? How do you manage the stakeholders? How do you manage the activities? And then activities post construction. So it's a lot of practical input with a bearing or with the background of your civil engineering input. And that's how it is different. I hope I'm clear. So Avinash says, can we enter in infrastructure management by MBA CPM? Well, depending upon the kind of roles that you might have, but when I would say that you can go into infrastructure sector, having an MBA construction project management degree. There also, in that particular job role, you'll be working in the infrastructure sector, but you will be only looking after construction. So let me give you an example. So let's say you'll be you will be employable in a power project, but you will be looking after only the construction management aspect of that power project. If you want to look into the commercial, legal and financial aspects or viabilities of that particular power project, and then in that case you should be opting for an infrastructure management degree. Shubham, I'm not able to understand your question again. Is it worth doing the course without any work experience? Yes, it is. It is worth doing the course without your work experience, because it definitely adds on to your work experience. You can always start, after having. In fact, most of the students who've been placed or who are here till now did not have in the past any work experience. Very few of them had some of the work experience. But what I'm saying is that having an experience would definitely help you in going through the entire course. Sir, do you provide a certification or a degree? We provide a degree in MBA, Swapnil. Avinash says, is there any scope for a government job in project management? See, these courses, so it depends upon the the vacancy which is advertised. So if you're asking that after doing this particular MBA, would you be directly eligible for a government job? I don't think so that any of the government jobs would have a eligibility criteria associated with any of the degrees. Even a BTech from IIT Delhi would not be able to say that they would be eligible for a government job. You need to have a requisite vacancy, and for that vacancy you need to have the requisite qualification, and then you'd have to probably be called for an interview, or any screening mechanism is there. Only then you can get into a government job. I hope that answers your questions. Mr. Rangaraj, I have already talked about their family business. It entirely depends upon what kind of business you have and what kind of priorities do you have, what kind of role that you want to get into taking your family business. See, billing, Mr. Bhushan Patil, is a part of cost management. So billing as an activity is, billing engineering, I've not come across this particular term, but billing is basically the activity of measuring the quantities and preparing a bill. Now, how the quantities are measured, how accurately the quantities are measured, can we re-engineer the system to reduce the quantities which are there, will be a part of quantity surveying or cost management, which is an overall envelope to your to just your billing and how you do it. Sarthak says, great Sarthak, if you are satisfied, it is my job to give answers to your questions. Can we enter in infrastructure management by CPM? I've already answered this question. Avinash, which course me? Yeah, I've answered. I've also answered, Swapnil, we provide a degree. See, we are not right now offering an online course, but we have, what I understand is that we have emerging leadership programs which are coming up, which have a part of their content which will be delivered online. So you can look at those courses. Vineet says, for which of the government body you are accredited? Vineet, there is no, government does not accredit any courses. So there are accreditation bodies. So this course is run under the aegis of MIT University, which is UGC certified. So you have certifications, and there are specific bodies. So you either have AICTE certification or a UGC certification for a particular university, which would say that okay, this and under that university is then certified to issue a particular degree. This course, in addition to that, is being accredited by RSAS, which is a global body. Government of India, as it is, or no government would probably, because UGC is a government body. So no government per se directly would not accredit this particular course. If your question intends to say that, let's say whether you are accredited or whether you are identified by NBCC or whether you have been identified by NTPC, let me tell you, very firmly. From my experience of being in a public sector and having worked with chairman of NTPC, that NTPC also would never accredit any course and say that okay, so and so college is now certified by us, we'll be taking people from that particular college. No government institute would do that. Government institutes would just give out the vacancies, would say what is the eligibility requirement of this particular vacancies, and accordingly you will apply and then you will get selected. I hope that answers your question. Mr. Lakshmi Khan says, good evening, sir. I'm Lakshmi. Yes, completed Masters in Structural Engineering. I have 5 years of experience. Currently, I'm working in Maldives for Housing Development Corporation Limited. I'm looking to widen my spectrum and get a managerial job in projects. Sir, please guide me as to which option should I consider. Thank you, sir. Looking at your experience, Lakshmi, you can choose either of the 3. You could choose construction project management if you specifically want to go into the management of the construction per se, as your background clearly shows. But if you want more of a job which is pertaining to analytics and consultancy, you could go in for construction economics and quantity surveying. However, if your interest lies in infrastructure management, with this kind of a background and a degree in infrastructure management, I think it will be a lethal combination for infrastructure management. However, I am a professor for a School of Construction and I would love to have you in my college. Mr. Raghavendra says, do we get scholarship for students? Yes, we do give scholarships for students, but there are specific criteria for that, Mr. Raghavendra. You need to fulfill those criteria. Only then you shall be eligible for for any scholarships. Okay. What percentile in CAT and MAT is required for an MBA in infrastructure management? I think MAT scores are required. Somebody from my group will surely answer this particular question. Whereas Suhas, all these requirements, if you go to our ACSSB website, you shall be very clearly given the requirements, the eligibility requirement for CAT and MAT score. Shubham says, if not placed, any other opportunities after that? See, Shubham, it entirely depends upon a particular candidate, how he takes up any rejection in life. I'm decently sure that after doing this particular course, which you will take an admission right now and will pass out in 2019, I'm sure that if you are able to put in the right kind of efforts, you will be ending with a very decent job in your own in a domain that you have worked for. However, God forbid, if any student is not able to get this particular job, what he's gaining out of this particular course is not only enhancement of his own his BTech degree by adding the knowledge of management of different projects, and I think there could be several opportunities after that. So for an MBA, I don't see that we need to have that kind of a dismal attitude right now. So I know we've got 58% in 10+2, and it's hurting me to get a job after BTech in civil. Does MBA in construction management? Yes, definitely. Once you do a postgraduate degree in Arnab, your past accomplishments or past seemingly lesser performance will not will hurt your job prospects quite less. Now, please also understand, Arnab, what majorly influences a recruiter is your performance in an interview. So if you are able to do well in this particular course and you are able to demonstrate through your answers to a recruiter that you are able that you possess not only the requisite knowledge but the requisite skills for this particular job, I don't see any reason that he would reject you for getting 58% marks in 10+2. So keep your hopes up. Doing an MBA will definitely help you. Yeah, so does MBA CPM relate with advanced construction management? I don't know your definition of advanced construction management, but let me tell you this, that whatever latest technologies that you're talking about in construction management that we are teaching, not only in terms of technologies related to BIM or Costex or Candy or Primavera or Tilos, any other softwares that are associated, or any technology which is associated with construction project management, but we have a specific course called Advanced Construction Management in which we talk about theory of constraints. We talk about specific case-based specific instances where we talk about how scheduling is done, how the capital arrangement for that particular project is done, how stakeholder management is done, how knowledge management is done. So all the state of art and current knowledge is being imparted in the construction project management course. Does RICS offer a semester abroad program in infrastructure management? right now, Suhas, I'm not aware that infrastructure management has got this kind of a tie-up with any university abroad. To my understanding, till now it does not. It's not there. With construction project management, we did have a tie-up with University of Salford. Okay, Rahul says, being a civil engineer with 3 years of work experience, I feel like studying real estate MBA. Now, please tell me how our ACS MBA MET will be different if we compare to Bond University, Australia. Now, Mr. Kumawat, I have not gone through the curriculum of Bond University, Australia. But if Bond University, Australia is not accredited by RACS SBE, then I would definitely say that this course would be better than that particular course. However, if it is also accredited by RACS, then I think I'll leave the judgment on you whether you would want to go and study with that university and us, because please understand that when RACS accreditation happen, they are basically benchmarking the institutes across the board. So they do not have a lesser yardstick for people in India because we are having we are backed by RACS. So they have the same stringent guidelines for us also. So I leave the decision to you, but but the only thing that I should tell you is that RACS has accredited our course, and with all the stringent checks that they might think that they should have applied for this particular course. Thank you, Avinash. I hope I was helpful. Is MBA CPM offered in all the campus? Yes, Insha MBA CPM is offered both in Mumbai campus as well as the Noida campus. Okay. Harsh, see, job security, I think any kind of a job is insecure for that matter. So I don't understand giving our placement history and the kind of opportunities that we provide to students that there should be any discomfort from your parents' side about your job security. Now, you go for any other courses, you even go for a BTech course, there's no guarantee that you would definitely be getting a particular job. But you have our statistics in place, and I've already talked to you about the statistics. I think after looking at these statistics, RACS is definitely a good bet. Thank you, Bhushan. Harsh, you are confused about the future. Understandable. I think it needs a deeper discussion and maybe talking in detail. I invite you to talk to us in our campus one-to-one. If you are willing to visit, we will be more than happy to talk to you. Pranay, I have already talked about how RACS differs from NICMAR, but I'll again reiterate that RACS provides a degree, whereas NICMAR provides a PGDFM, that is a diploma. And the difference is that we are backed by RACS, which is the global accreditation bodies, one of the top global accreditation bodies for programs related to construction management and management of the built environment. And that's how we edge from NICMAR. Mr. Shubham says, can you tell the companies from India coming to MBA construction management courses? Yes, I did give a presentation a little before, Shubham. If you could have a look. Now that presentation, would definitely did show that the companies, like we had AECOM, we had we had L&T, we had Shapurji Palanji taking people. We had Tata Homes, we had Sare Homes. We had IDEO constructions. We had I think Omax is another people. So all the topmost people have come to take up the MBA. We have Mace coming to take people. So all sorts of companies are over here, Shubham. Okay, Avinash says currently construction sector is down. Is a possibility that we will get placed 100%. As I said, Avinash, we are not able to give you a guarantee of a job. What we can give you is the guarantee of giving you the right kind of an opportunity. So no more questions. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Manu. I've already answered this. We need these courses, any kind of MBA or the Masters of Business Administration is a course, or any Masters of Business Administration course gives you a framework of management. Now, once you acquire this particular framework, you can apply it whether you are working for somebody or you're starting your own business. So I guess it will immensely help you to start your own business. Whether internships are provided only in India or do we get to go in abroad also? Prashant, internships are provided both in India and abroad. This time I have two of my students who've gone to JLL. Of course, they were from MBA Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure, but two of the students who've gone to JLL Dubai. In fact, last year and before last year also two of the students went to JLL Dubai. However, I think most of the construction project management students are here in India. But there are no restrictions. I mean, so there are internships which are being provided abroad. Yeah, so Lakshmi, your BTech is 72% and MTech is 75%. That's perfectly fine. It's great. I mean, you are more than eligible for these particular jobs. Swapnil, I just enlisted some of the major companies. I've answered that. Yeah, good evening, Harsh. Well, Lakshmi, that depends upon what is your, what is your future plan. So, if you're interested in construction sector, as I said, you need to choose CPM within construction project management. If you're too keen on analytics and very keen on numbers, then I think construction economics and quantity surveying is for you. If you've got good communication skills, if you're interested in real estate and want to move away a little bit from your technical side, then you should go in for real estate and urban infrastructure management. If you want to go in for feasibility of a particular project and understand the aspects of commercial, legal and financial feasibility of a particular project, then I think infrastructure management is the course for you. Yes, RICS Bhushan is offering a course. It's an MBA in quantity surveying. There are certification courses, small term, small term courses and certificate courses in quantity survey. And in fact, it is this lean period from, let's say, May to July that we offer these courses. Kindly just get in touch or like the Facebook page for our essays. You'll definitely get notifications. The softwares Primavera, Candy, MSP are taught with, yes, Mayur, these courses are very much taught within our curriculum, and I reiterated. In fact, we had a course which is titled Practical Application of Construction Management Softwares in Construction Economics and Quantity Surveying Softwares, in which we teach these softwares. There's a specific course on BIM. Well, yes, Lakshmi, that I said that you have, you have again the emerging leadership program that we are offering for someone who was asking the question about certificate courses, which you can get, and there you get directly a certificate from RSS. Now, out here we'll be giving you a degree from MIT, which will be plus an RSS certification, but this particular courses will definitely earn you a certification from RSS. Certificate of your MBA, Lakshmi, you will be getting from the degree will be issued by MIT, but you will also get a certificate from RSS regarding this particular degree. Rahul says MBA RUI gives broad opportunities. Rahul, opportunities to work, are there for all these degrees. You would have an opportunity to work in global areas. These courses are based on the global curriculums. They are not the courses which are only oriented towards the Indian sector. How much does a gap in graduation affect the chances of student getting placed? Pranay, the only thing that decides your placement is at the time of the interview whether you are able to satisfy the interviewer or not. So if you have recouped your gap in your BTech degree, I think there's no problem. And you are good with your MBA skills, I think there's no problem in you being placed. The placement record, I have already talked about, Puneet. Last year we had 100% of placement. Till now we have 75 to 80% of placement. I think the highest package is somewhere around 26 lakhs. This time the average package is around 6.1 lakhs. Now that is the placement statistics right now. Okay. Rahul, I've already answered this question. What advice from you regarding job and course for MBA construction management? Well, there is no specific advice, Shubham, for that matter. What I would say is choose a course out of these 4 MBA courses. Choose a course which is aligned to your final goal. Choose a course in which you are more interested in. So if you're interested in construction, go in for construction project management. Again, I'm reiterating, if you're interested within construction, you're interested in analytics or more in numbers, you should go in for construction economics. If you feel that infrastructure management or taking the feasibility or how the project would come about be your focus and you are interested, then you should go in for infrastructure. If you're interested in the management of the entire activities from pertaining to real estate, that is directly from land acquisition to valuations to basically transactions, then I think you should go in for real estate. Of course, if you're going in for real estate, be sure that you have good communication skills. Yeah. Yes, Lakshmi, I think for that matter, let me say that I think it's not basically the knowledge that you have. Taking up your own business is also requires a bit of entrepreneurial and risk-taking skills, which you should have. And this MBA this course will not only impart these kinds of skills to you, will help you develop them even more, and this will definitely prepare you to take over your business. However, your commitment to the course, your commitment to gaining knowledge should be there from your side. Otherwise, you can do any amount of courses, and still after those courses, you might not be able to take over your business. Rahul, with the when I talk about the average package for real estate and urban infrastructure would be around specifically sector specific. I don't have the figure right now, but when I'm talking to you about the figure, that is an overall figure which is panning across streams, and I think for the real estate urban infrastructure also, the figure would be close to 6 lakhs itself. And considering that everything is real estate now, you must know that McDonald's was a company which was not selling burgers. It is ideally a company which is a real estate company, because it was acquiring all the properties in the most prime locations. So I mean, everything is real estate. So I think whatever happens in the market, real estate is always there. Either you would be going in dealing with the secondary market, or you will be dealing with the primary market. But in any case, you will have real estate. So I don't see the scope of real estate per se going out. It will always be there. Lakshmi says, will it be mentioned as MBA and RICS issued certificate? Yes, definitely it will be mentioned as MBA and RICS issued certificate. Hostel fee is not included in our website. Hostel fee, I think this has already been answered by Manish to you. Mukesh, I've already answered about the certification. The certificate will be provided, the degree would be provided by you by MIT, and then RSS will provide a specific certificate. Lakshmi says, to my profile, if I add up MBA, will I be getting lucrative packages? Packages are worth on your knowledge and your potential, Lakshmi. So definitely when you add on your knowledge with this particular course, there will be definite enhancement, because when you look at the compensable factors or the factors which basically give you a higher pay package, your degree, your knowledge, your acquired degree definitely plays a part in that. Besides that, any recruiter would look at your potential, and considering that this door opens this particular course opens the door for the membership of RICS, which is an internationally recognized certification or that you have, or a title that you have, you would definitely be moving towards a path of very high packages. Okay. Mukesh, if you have heard that the placement records have fallen drastically, that's a wrong information. As I told you, out of the eligible candidates, we have already placed around 75 to 80%. So if that is the news that you have, that's a wrong news. And to inform you, we are not yet done with placements. The new the new batch would start in July sometimes, and we intend to place and the remaining candidates. Yeah, so Gulfar was on campus, a few days back, and we are expecting some more companies. So, yeah, definitely the placement process is on, and as I said, we pledge to provide you as many opportunities as we can from our sides, and that we are definitely going to do. Um, Pranay says real estate management course includes more of economy part of construction management part. No, the construction economics part would be taught in construction management per se, Pranay. When you look at the real estate management courses, they talk more about the activities pertaining to real estate. So as I said, right from let's say it does have a course on urban planning, it has a course on the real estate market analysis, then it has courses on valuation, it has courses on law. So all these courses which are associated with the commercial and the developmental part of real estate, all this will be taught in the real estate school. They will not be talking to you about construction at all. That comes under the domain of construction project management. And I think for better clarity, you should go through the course content of each and every courses in our website. You'll also get a clear idea. You are, Lakshmi, are a bit confused between courses. Please suggest me a course which enhances my technical managerial exposure along with good salary packages. I think I've given enough answers, Lakshmi, and I've given enough pointers for you to choose whatever courses that you want to choose. I would say all the courses are almost at par in terms of good salary packages. Depending upon your future goals, you should be choosing one of the courses. Okay, Rahul, thank you. If you like the information, if one is in the kind of dilemma that which courses to choose, either CPM or REUI, then what guidance will you give to one? And I am a civil engineer. I like the course structures of REUI though. So, Rahul, if you really like real estate and you want to move away from the core construction field and you have good communication skills, then definitely real estate would be the course for you. But if you are keen on your BTech course, that is civil engineering, and you've done it well, and you would like to be part of the noble profession of turning dreams into concrete realities, then I think construction project management would be the course. But please understand that construction project management would, or it might entail your association with site works and activities associated with site. And so does MBA real estate also, but of a different, albeit a different nature. So association with site will be there, and more importantly with the construction activities if you want to go in for a course in construction project management. Swapnil, the criteria of scholarship I think has already been answered, and your query would be specifically answered. You can go to the website, RICS SB website. I think all those queries would be there also. I don't see any more questions coming right now. So if there are no more questions, we are coming towards the close. Okay, Harsh says, I have a backlog and I'm giving the exams of both. Backlog results are coming in October. I think, Harsh, that might be a little bit of a problem because your degree, your final year degree, has to be in place before you apply for this particular course. What I would request is that you need to get further clarification on this. You need to get in touch specifically with the recruitment team, and I request somebody from the recruitment team to provide him with the admissions team to provide him with the ID so that he can directly write back to us. And I think, Harsh, if you go to our website also, there the direct address to write to our admissions team would be there. To my understanding, it will be tricky, Harsh, because our admission procedure and guidelines are within the ages of MIT University. We cannot just go out. So at the time of your degree, when you sit, or at the time of your screening, when you're sitting for an interview, you should have at least qualified for the courses. That is my understanding. Mukesh, it is it would be presumptive or at this point of time to speculate about the placement of RICS Mumbai campus. Now, I don't see any reason why placement of RICS Mumbai campus would not be the same as Noida. However, I would not like to speculate about it. But let me reiterate once again to all the people who are present in this webinar that RICS SBE is committed to provide you with the best opportunities possible for you to get the placements. Whether to convert those opportunities into a job offer would definitely be something that you would also be responsible for Vineet, any course would be helpful in starting your own business depending upon the kind of business that you have. Okay, so if there are no questions further, I will sign off and say bye-bye. I don't see any questions right now. And Harsh, if you apply next year, which type of courses and classes benefit for construction management? I suggest that during in the meantime, if you could do some courses on BIM, or if you could do a certificate course in Primavera or MSP, that will definitely help you for getting into this course much better. And if you can do a certificate course in Costex, nothing like that. We will be providing you with the training of Costex here, but definitely it's going to help you if you basically get a course in Costex. Vineet, I've already talked about the short-term courses. We have Emerging Leaders Program and many other certificate courses which are being advertised by RSCS and are being administered directly by RSCS with the certificates directly from RSCS. Kindly check our Facebook page, you'll be getting the information about them. Can you specify certain certification courses? Swapnil, these certification courses pertaining to what? I mean, I'm not understanding. For this particular course, the eligibility of this course does not require you to take any kind of certification. Courses, whatever needs to be taught to you, which is required for this particular course, shall be taught to you when you are there in the campus. However, there was a specific query by a student that in the meantime, when he has passed out this degree and applies for the RSS degree the next year, what courses he can do. To that response, I specifically said that you could go in for courses of Primavera or Microsoft Project or Costex. So there is no prerequisite for this particular course. Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Harsh. It was nice having all of you. So if there are no further questions, I think I'll say bye-bye. It was great interacting with you, gentlemen and ladies. If there were any, I really look forward to having most of you joining this particular course and interacting with you when you come. So thank you so much. So if there are thank you, Swapnil, thank you, Vineet, thank you both, and thank you all who have joined this particular webinar. So with those words, I think I shall say bye-bye. All the best for all your careers, and choose wisely, and I hope you will definitely make a great choice and decision for your career. So bye-bye, guys. Tushar, I'm teaching at the Noida campus. I told that I'm a faculty with School of Construction. So thank you all. Bye-bye. And I'm at Noida, Tushar. So you're most welcome to come and join the Noida campus. It'll be fun teaching you. Bye-bye. See you guys.